What's up, Josh Paul? That's a Messianic King. I'm gonna tell you a story, man. When I went in the Redlands Parkway, when I went up to the Colorado River, and I had made a long video of the whole, like the whole ritual that me and God went through, and he had me stripped down naked. He had the food sitting there. There was like steak there. There was tomatoes. He had strawberries. There was chopped up ham in this King's bag, and then on the grill there was like a piece of steak. Like right when I got there, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like, I didn't know. So I picked it up, and then he's like, go over there to the river. And he took me over the river, and I went and I looked down the river, and there, like inside these two rocks, right, was this red rose sitting there, right? And I know how I got there now, but at the time I was like, oh my God, there's this red rose there. I'm like, I'm supposed to go down there. So I go down, right? And I get the wood ready to build the fire because I know he wants me to go. He wants me to go into the Colorado River. Right? So, a different Zechariah before this, but when I went up to Rob Park, because he had told me before this, he goes, "Your way isn't the only way to complete Zechariah," right? Telling me, follow me, right? So I go down there. I eat food. I strip down. I left my shoes on because I wasn't walking. Because I didn't want to walk. And it was cold. But I left my shoes on. So my shoes are blessed. I'm blessed, my shoes are blessed. So everywhere that I walk down, right, whatever. So I go out, I dive in there, I come out, right. I don't spend too long in there because it's like a city park, man. And there's people water rafting down it. And I'm naked. So I get out, put my clothes on, build the fire, continue to eat everything. Right, throw the embers after it's done. Right, I go through the whole ritual. I put the keys in the bottle. Right, throw it out into the water. The keys that he gave me, let it go. Right, and then the fire's going, and this girl comes up, and she's like, looks at me, and she goes, "You did that just to get me to come down here." And it was God talking to me. You did that just to get me to come down. She's the one who threw that rose in there. I know she did it the day before. She's probably the one who left the food. They had put it, right? And she goes, do you have a bucket of water? So I go, yeah. And I put out the fire. I took all the branches. They weren't burnt. I took them. They had burned halfway. I took them and I threw them all out. Threw them all out into the water. They're all going down the river, right? The bottle's going down the river. I go up, right? And one of the branches, which is shaped like it comes all the way around. I watch it. It goes all the way around, and it comes back to this piece of wood that looks like a person, like part of the ritual, and it lands right on it. I had made a video of the whole thing. Right? Lands right on it, and it was a burn up branch. I still have a little bit of that piece of that video, and it's you know, I pulled a brand plucked from the fire, right? And it's pretty cool. And then I threw it out in the water. But anyway. And then the bottle that I had thrown, right? I was like, I probably should have kept those keys. It had come all the way back, and it's right there at the foot of that branch. And I go down there, and I turn it over, and one of the keys comes out, the other one's gone. Right? I'm like, okay. And then after a minute, I look down, and in the water, it's the other key. It wasn't there for it. It's down there in the water. I pull the other key out. But anyway, that girl and this guy are up there, and they make food, and they leave this food, right? They left more food, and I went up and I ate that, right? And then another guy came to the park and gave me something. But I'm watching this girl, right? And she's walking up and down like the highway, and she gets this box, and she's collecting branches, right? She's collecting branches, and she's getting rocks, and she's putting them in a box. She's jumping over the fence. It's like what I was doing when I was going down I-70. I was jumping over the fence. It's one of the only times that I ever taken. I usually leave everything behind. It's the one time that I had a bag, and I had provisions in it, like clothes and a blanket and stuff. I never usually take anything, man. When I took it, ended up at Rob Park. But it reminded me of me jumping over the fence because the cars were coming. It was late at night. I couldn't see anything, and these cars are just. And if you ever walk down I-70, there's like this much room between you and the cars. There's big semi trucks just going by me in the middle of our blackness. I jump back over the fence, and you can't see, and I can fell in a hole or whatever, man. I'm just like, God, get me through it. But it reminded me of that. I'm like, what God tell me? Is he telling me to walk up? But I just figured out what he was telling me. Right? What he was telling me again. He was telling me, you're like that when you walked up that road, you're like that girl. Ridiculous. Picking up rocks. Picking up sticks. Why are you picking up rocks and sticks? There's rocks and sticks everywhere for you. I'm going to provide you with whatever you need. Why are you picking up these rocks and sticks and putting it in his box? You don't need to do that. Just like the shirt that he just gave me. You don't need to do that. That's what he was telling me. I just figured out. Sometimes, like, he tells me stuff and I think it means something else, and it'll be like a day or two until I'm like, oh, that's what you're talking about.